Hello and welcome to another Bucket List Gamers mini review. I am Jay, and for this one I'm joined by Aaron.
Hello.
And for this episode we are looking at, as you can probably see, Drug Dealer Simulator, but specifically the Xbox release. It's been out on Steam for quite a while now, so I think it came out in 2020 originally. So it's not a new game, but it is new because it's been moved on to the Xbox. So it's developed by Bite Runners Game Studio, and it's published by Movie Games SA Stroke Ultimate Games SA. So I don't know if one of them have published it on PC and one have published it on Xbox or PS5 because it is also on PS5 as well. But yeah, they're the people that are involved in it, and they very kindly gave us a key to check it out. It's not been without its controversy, this game, but we will get to that later. And it's not what you think either, because you'd think the controversy would be it's about selling drugs and it's full of swearing and stuff, but it's not even that. First impressions for me, I think you can tell it's a game from 2020. It doesn't look bad. I think it looks very nice, but it also you can sort of tell that in those 5 years, graphics have come on quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it looks very competent, I will say. Like when it first loaded up and you climb out of bed, which might be the bit you're just seeing now, I think it looks good. But I think it looks very similar to a lot of simulatory games that have now come out since.
Yeah, definitely.
I assume they're all using similar asset packs, or well, it's Unreal Engine, isn't it? It's all built around that, where things tend to look a little bit samey, and I think they've done a really good job of making the neighborhood and stuff look pretty good. It's not just the same few buildings that you just keep running past. There is some variation. I got lost trying to find my flat when I was trying to get back to it because the map system's decent but not great, and where my flat was, there was a lot of doors. So I ended up just going checking all the different doors until I found the one that opened and led back to my room, for example.
It looks sort of like you would expect a place to set up a drug dealing scheme as well.
Yeah,
So I think it fits that atmosphere.
exactly. It's all a little bit grimy, isn't it? A bit
Yeah.
grubby, which, like you say, absolutely fits. The sensitivity on the well, not the mouse, the controller when I first started it was ridiculous. There's a bit in the footage where I go in and change it probably to sort of calm it down a bit. But it was, I don't know why games do this as well, because you've encountered quite a few on stream, haven't you, where the sensitivity is just turned so far up.
Yeah.
The slightest touch of the analog stick for me swung the camera almost 360. I was like, why would anyone want it at this setting? So that would be my advice if you start playing this on Xbox, is lower that down straight away. Otherwise you're going to get motion sickness and you're not going to know where you're going.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun concept, which they did first, which we will come on to in a moment, which is partly the reason why I wanted you to be on this video with me talking about this. It plays really well. Like the control scheme's pretty good. The splitting of the drugs to sell to customers is quite good. They've put it on the triggers so you can split them and then you can pass some to them and keep some for yourself, and it's all done on there. Pretty good. I will say, I don't think it was my TV setup. When it gets dark, it gets dark. And I didn't realize my phone had a torch on it until after I needed it. And I literally walked past the person I was going to sell drugs to, as in, like, I probably could have touched him. I was that close because I just couldn't see anything. So I sort of walked past him in the pitch black, did a loop round, and then I just sort of caught I think his name popped up on the screen, so I must have looked close enough to him to see. And then I realised he was there. So yeah, the dark is really dark. Maybe it did tell me that I got a torch on my phone and I just glanced over it. I don't know. I
bet it did. I bet it did.
Tend to read the instructions that closely. But yeah, that would have been nicer to, like, if it had forced me to get the torch out, it would have been good.
Yeah.
Because it does sort of force you to do other things. So it set the precedent to make you do stuff like that. Whereas that, I was just running around in complete darkness trying to find people to sell drugs to, which wasn't fun. It does everything pretty well. I think the reason it's come out on Xbox, which we've just discussed beforehand, is linked to the controversy, which is linked to, as the reason you're here, Schedule 1.
Yeah. Great game.
This game is pretty much the same game, isn't it? I mean, it is and it isn't. It plays exactly the same in terms of it's got the same mechanics. You make drugs, you cut them with stuff to make them different. You go out and you make contacts, you sell them to contacts, you get chased by the police, you get caught, all that business. But at the same time, Schedule 1 is such a different spin on it.
Yeah.
with the art style, with the comedy of it, with the fact that the drugs, when you mix them with stuff, do crazy stuff, which
Yeah.
is obviously not included in this one because this one is very serious. It
It's more
takes itself very
serious.
serious,
Yeah.
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 This one is much more storyline driven,
Yeah.
which I think is a nice thing. I think I would have, if I'd have got this in 2020, I'd have loved it. I'd have been
Mm.
really into it, and I'd have been, and I still will be. I think I'll play the Xbox One quite a lot because I don't play Schedule One. You have, and because we share a Steam account for our channel, I don't
Yeah.
want to interfere in your Schedule One game by trying to
Yeah.
play it. So at the minute, this is a perfect scenario for me because I can play this on my Xbox instead and still get a similar experience. I think it is really close. But
Yeah.
I think at the same time, that's why they've put it out on Xbox because you can't get Schedule 1 on Xbox
Yeah.
or PlayStation. So I think this is a move because it's been 5 years. It seems a long time to not want to put it on a console,
Yeah.
to then
And
suddenly
then
want to put it
suddenly
on a
go,
console.
let's put it on. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it might be so that people on a console have this experience to play as well.
Yeah.
Saw a few reviews on Xbox saying it's buggy and it crashes and all that. I didn't experience any of that. So whether that's been patched out, whether I got lucky, I don't know. But for me, played perfectly smoothly. If you're looking for this drug dealer simulator experience and you don't have a PC, I think this is the perfect route to take.
Yeah.
It's 20 quid, I think, on the Xbox at the minute. The length of it and how much there is to do in it, even from the hour and a bit that I've played of it, I think you'll get your 20 quid's worth. No
Yeah.
problem. There's a Drug Dealer Simulator 2, so it's followed on. There's like a prequel and then the full version of the two games. So if you get really into it, you've got something to move on to already. There's a second one there waiting for you to play. And yeah, I think it's a good alternative if you've seen Schedule 1 everywhere
Yeah.
and you want to play it but you don't have a PC. And it almost feels insulting saying it's a good alternative when they did it first. Because this
Yeah.
is their game essentially, and Schedule One has cribbed off it quite considerably and made something that's gone way more viral. I think is the difference.
Yeah.
But I think this definitely deserves looking at. I think if you like that kind of game, even if you've played Schedule One, I think you'll get a different experience from this one because, like I say, it's way more serious. It's more storyline driven. There's character acting. The voiceover work is interesting to say the
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
I do quite like the voiceovers as
The,
much as they're. I don't know. I can't describe what they are, but there's something about them, isn't there, that just feels a bit strange.
yeah. There's sort of like a fourth wall breaking narrator throughout.
Yeah, yeah. Like at one point, he's like, "Oh, make sure you pick up your backpack because I don't know what fantasy games you've been playing, but in this world, we
Yeah.
have to carry our money in a bag and all this." And it's like,
Yeah.
it's sort of clever how they've done that. At the same time, it does snap you out of the immersion of it as well.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. But I can't remember who exactly it is now, but the voice of the narrator really reminds me of someone, and I can't put my finger on it. So if anyone out there knows who I might be thinking of when you hear the narrator's voice in this, let me know because yeah, it's really bugging me. I can't figure out who it is,
Amazing.
but it's very close to something, and I don't know if it's like something in South Park or something that I've heard and I'm really familiar with, but
Yeah.
just not familiar enough to join the dots
So
and go, oh, that voice is that. So it's really bugging me. But no, I would definitely say give this one a go. If you've got 20 quid to spare and you want a drug dealer simulator experience on console, I don't think you can go far wrong with this one.
no.
As far as I'm aware, Schedule One's no plans to come to console, so this is your only avenue if you
Yeah.
want to play this kind of game and you're on a console. Would I buy this over Schedule One on PC? I don't know. And I just think for my humour and my gameplay style and wanting it to be a bit more relaxed, I think the Schedule One route is the one I'd go.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting something more serious and really well put together and really well voiced over, and like they've obviously not phoned it in, like I think it's like 99% voiced over, isn't it? I think it's only like when you get text messages on your phone and stuff that they're
Yeah.
not read out. It's really, really well done. And I think as an isolated standalone game, it's a really well made thing. And if that's what you're into, give it a go.
Yeah. And the drug dealing sort of simulator style is popular for a reason because it is good fun to sort of mix in with everything and get all of that. So, and this looks like it's done a really good job of doing all of that, just like Schedule 1 has. I mean, obviously, you didn't get far enough to sort of set up a proper automated lab and
No, yeah.
hire people and stuff, but it looks like the depth of the game is massive, like Schedule 1 is.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things I think where it's got so much detail to it. It's almost overwhelming. That first hour I played, I was
Yeah,
like, I don't even know where to start. But it does a really good job of holding your hand and like, go here and get these drugs and sell them to these people. Right,
yeah,
ring up and buy more drugs
yeah,
and then sell them. And it eases you in really gradually, which is great. And I think you're right. I think the depth is massively there. Like you've just said, it's a good gameplay loop, the drug dealer simulator thing.
yeah,
Make this, sell it, make this, but with a tweak, sell it for a bit more money,
yeah,
expand your empire, keep going, and you've
yeah,
got all that in this. So,
yeah.
yeah, really thankful to them for sending us a key to try it. I'm definitely going to play more of it because whenever I see you playing Schedule 1, I get a little bit jealous. And now I've got my own more serious version where I can get immersed in a storyline. It does remind me a little bit, storyline wise, not the actual storyline, but the way the storyline's developing for me is like Saints Row 1 ish.
Yeah,
I don't know what exactly it is, but when you go and sit down with your dealer and he's giving you a bit of exposition and telling you what you need to do, it feels like that start of Saints Row 1
yeah.
where
Where
you
you
you get,
starting a gang. Yeah,
yeah, and you go to the church and stuff and find
yeah,
out all about it. So yeah, really enjoyed it. I would recommend going and grabbing it if it's your thing and you want to try something like this out on console.
yeah,
I wouldn't rule out playing this and Schedule 1. If you've got the money to try both, why not give both of them a go? I think you'll probably get different things out of both of them.
yeah.
But until next time, I will say that's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.